Computer. All right, here we go. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Treeshakers show. Today, we are so honored to have one of our lead tree shakers, certainly in the city of New Orleans, councilperson at large, Jason Williams. Welcome, Councilman.
Kim, it's always good to be with you, whether on a Zoom or in the streets, fighting a good fight.
Fighting a good fight. Fighting a good fight. You know, here on Tree Shakers, we really highlight those things that are important in our community, and we highlight people who are shaking the trees and making things happen, not by the cookie cutter that's already been set, but going against the trend of injustice that we have seen for so long here and speaking up against that. And you, council member, have been a tree shaker for quite some time, and finally welcome to a sit down in the Tree Shakers where you rightfully belong, sir, to take your place as the tree shaker that you are.
Well, it's good to be here because I am truly just following your lead and the lead of Mama D and the lead of Jerome Smith, because, you know, we don't have to fight this fight, but people fought for us. And so we are obligated to stay in this game. As long as we're breathing, we got to fight the fight.
Yeah, because I really thought I was going to retire, but, you know, hey, that, because we have so much injustice going on here in the city of New Orleans, particularly, and I thank you for your support when I signed on to do the Can Zero campaign.
Well, you took him out, and when you started, and then when I was calling him out from City Hall, he had a 75% approval rating, baby. You know, a lot of people are scared, like a lot of elected folks that are not in this game right now were scared of him and wouldn't say a word.
Wouldn't say a word.
Nothing.
Nothing. They said nothing. And
I doubt they even signed your petition. They're probably too scared to even sign your petition.
Well, I did get that. They were afraid to sign my petition. A lot of folks were. A lot of folks were. And you know, I get that a lot. You know, with our community members being afraid to step up. You know, especially like people with housing issues, people with just people in general, especially in criminal court, that are just afraid to speak the issues about the injustices they are suffering. And so to all of those people who are listening today, I'm just glad that you can hear that you are here so that you can tell them how important this runoff campaign is.
I mean, you know, look, I thank God, like everybody else thanks God, that we got Vice President Harris and Joe Biden in the White House instead of Donald Trump. But when you talk about what is going to affect the lives of the people in the city of New Orleans most, all you have to do is just look back a few years to see just how many young children were funneled into the school to prison pipeline, and look at how many older New Orleanians find themselves in the system for something that they would not get in trouble for if they lived next to Audubon Park versus Shakespeare Park or Joe Brown Park or Hunters Field, right? So who the DA is and how he uses his discretion really is going to affect more people's lives than what happens from Washington, D.C. And you have been arguing that case since Connick. Right.
Because we had some conversation about Connick, you know, because he showed up in this campaign to support some candidates for judgeships. And I'm like, dude, if you got Harry Connick saying he supports you, I can't support you.
That's the reason.
I can't be a part of that.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
I can't. And, you know, as a child growing up in the Sabador Project, was when Harry Connick was our district attorney. And I'll tell you, so many, and we know good kids and bad kids because we live next door to each other every day. And so many good kids I saw that disappeared in the system, which thwarted me to want to find out what the heck was going on with that. And so now here we are having an opportunity to elect someone of your caliber to the district attorney's office. We can't miss this as citizens. Even if the people who have been negatively affected by the district attorney in the city of New Orleans would step up to come out, they alone could elect you. They
That's
alone.
right.
All of
That's
those
right.
people who've been so affected by it, and people who don't know what the district attorney does, how he operates, well, then they need to know and not wait until it happens to them or their family member before they realize how powerful the district attorney can be. And your opponent, my God, has definitely said some Canizero like things and have
Yeah.
done some Canizero friendship things that really are troubling to me as a citizen and as the chairperson of the Canizero campaign. You know,
I can only imagine. I can only imagine. And people are kicking our tires now. People are listening to the things we're saying, but truth of the matter is, people have to look at what people have done in their life. It's not what you say; it's what you do. And to your point, when you look at 2008, when Kiva was the interim DA, and Black RTA workers got beat, kicked, and stomped at the Beach Corner Grill and by off-duty NOPD officers, and she chose not to prosecute a single one, not even for a misdemeanor, right? And then we find out later that one of them was Canizaro's son-in-law, and we find out later that his daughter was even in the bar when it happened, and there were 40 plus witnesses. And the police chief said somebody should be charged. The FBI said somebody should be charged, but Kiva decided, not to prosecute a single officer. And then we see Frank DeSalvo, who is on her campaign finance report, is one of her chief financial backers, who was one of the defense attorneys for those folks, and also a big supporter of Canizero. Like you said, Stevie Wonder can connect these dots and see that they're trying to keep the status quo. And if nothing changes, nothing will change.
That's right. If we keep electing the same kind of people, and just because you and I share skin, don't mean you my friend.
No, you look. Some of the worst police brutality comes from Black and brown officers. So it's not a matter of. It is a matter of mindset and mentality, and how you see people, and if you see the humanity in people. And for a long time, this criminal legal system and the actors in it have not seen the humanity in our community. Just think about it. You mentioned St. Bernard. I remember my first criminal case when I was in the Tulane Law Clinic before Judge Calvin Johnson. A police officer said, "Yeah, well, we were doing proactive patrol in the St. Bernard because there's a lot of drug activity." I said, "Well, I just left Tulane University. There's a lot of drug activity in college dormitories, but I've never seen a police raid in one."
And so that's what we have here in New Orleans. We have in the justice system here, criminal justice in New Orleans, we have a Black criminal justice and a white criminal justice. And so as a tree shaker, I really thought that I knew, but when I became a tree shaker, that's really when I found out that the number of Black and brown people, particularly the number of Black people that are in those orange jumpsuits in criminal court, is very alarming. And people in my community, I just don't know. I don't know what else can we do for people to understand that this is not normal. This is not normal. And if we miss this opportunity to have you elected as our district attorney, we in trouble.
Yeah, neither one of us is going to be able to retire anytime soon if something like that happens. We're going to have to fight these atrocities one case at a time. When you really think about it, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for this country. I'm going to say that because I've heard from people from all over the world about the DA's race here, because they think because New Orleans, because of our high incarceration rate and our high exoneration rate, they think if we can reform our system, then the South can get it right. And if the South can get it right, then America can get it right, because we are ground zero for it. And the criminal legal system, that really speaks to the heart of America's race issue. Because you talk about food insecurity, housing insecurity, underemployment, all that starts with that stamp that people sometimes catch before they're even an adult.
Yeah, yeah. And I am amazed so often. Not only do we sit at the top of those statistics to be ground zero, there's also another statistic that we champion, and that is wrongfully incarcerating people. We
That's right.
incarcerate more people wrongfully here in the city of New Orleans than anywhere else in the country per capita, in this city right here. And with our state being uh number one in incarceration, that's an issue. That's so bad. It's so bad. And still we have people, so many of our elected officials who have nothing to say about this, Councilman. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for your willingness to step up to run for this position. Thank
Well,
you.
I'm following your lead, so thank you for showing me the path.
Well,
It was a lot. It was a
I'm gonna
lot
stand
rougher.
with you.
It was a lot rougher in the 80s and 90s, and
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
so I'm following a path that you beat down already. And I want to thank you for that.
Well, I'm gonna keep beating because I got, and I have the likes of one of my favorite mentors is Fannie Lou Hamer.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Tired. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. So whether you got a MD, a DD, a no D, we all in this fight together. We all in. Everybody have their role to play.
Yes.
Everybody has their role to play. So
Yes.
this is my role, and I will take it to the streets. And that's what we do here on Treeshakers. We take it to the street. We talk about the real issues. We talk about the real issues. So everything that we can do. What do you, the people that are hearing this radio show today, tell them how to be able to get in touch with your campaign. Tell them how, and you know, somebody may pay you to the people. Somebody may pay you $25 to go out and shake a sign for them. But when your babies get caught up in the Orleans Parish criminal injustice system, that $25 ain't gonna do a thing for you.
It's not going to
It's
do a thing
not.
for you,
It ain't gonna do a thing for you.
and it's ruining lives. People can log on to runwithjason.com. They can register to shake a sign. We got a few hundred people knocking doors every day except for Thanksgiving. And we're doing it socially distanced. We knock on the door and then we go sit in front and we have a conversation through the door, through the window about the race. We really gotta get people to realize that this is not over. That we got to keep people. Runoffs is a huge drop off. But if every single person who has ever known somebody that was touched or brutalized by the criminal legal system, and I mean traffic, municipal, misdemeanor, and felony, it is all, the racial disparity of all of that is clear. Because if you go to traffic court, it's full of blacks and Latinos, right? And I know it's not just us driving cars. So it is large scale and small scale. And if you see people out shaking a sign, get out for 5 minutes, wave a sign and say, vote for change, vote for 104 for 5 minutes, get back in your car and remember to vote on December the 5th, because New Orleans can be a better place. But if we get a Google or an Amazon that say they want to come here and start a business and bring thousands of jobs, we're not going to be able to participate, right? Because they're going to do a background check. And the way the criminal legal system has worked, it has taken us out of the mix, and we can fix that, and we got to fix that first.
Yeah, yeah. We got some things to do. And if, I'm sorry, but if my neighbors don't come out to support this campaign that you have, then guess what? They're telling me that it doesn't matter. They want to be oppressed. They want to be wrongfully treated. They support injustice. If you sit back, all the work that we've done to stop Leon Canizero, this is what we have to deal with today. This is what we have to deal with. And I'm telling you, you know, my thing is that elected officials, period, need to be held accountable.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
If you sit silent, doing my injustice, and you can be silent sitting over there on your pedestal, then I have a problem with that. I can't be okay with that. You
Because
know,
they're part of it. If you
they're
sit
part of
silent
it.
to injustice, you are a part of it. Just like those old postcards that showed lynchings. There might have been 2 or 3 men who actually put their hands on a noose or a rope or beat that person, but you had over 100 people sometimes
Yeah.
watching it. If you could sit by and watch, then you are just as big
As
a part
guilty.
as the person who killed them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so, what have you taken a leave from your council duties? You still doing your council duties and the campaign? I
I'm doing,
still see
I'm
you
doing,
doing
I'm, I'm,
council.
I'm doing them both. I'm doing them both. Like you said, it's no rest for the weary. We got a lot of work to do, and we just got to do it.
Yeah, and this campaign is important. That's why I'm going to help you, Councilman. I'm going to be there. I'm there with you. I'm going the full gambit, all out to inform my community about the importance of this election. It is just critical to our survival here in the city of New Orleans. You know, it's critical to our survival. It's critical to criminal justice. So that's good. I'm glad that you did that, Councilman. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I definitely anything else that you want to say, because we do have some time. We have about 10 more minutes if you want. Or
I just want to say, I want to come back. I want to come back after we win this race, and I want to talk about the things we're putting in place so that you can share with the public how the criminal legal system and the DA's office is transforming, because it's going to take a lot of time to rebuild the trust that was broken. And I'm gonna need Kim Ford in the mix to help us do that, because people have to learn they can trust this system again. It's not overnight, but I want to share my data. I want people to be able to see who gets charged, who doesn't get charged. I want them to see the diversion program and see what real, fair, honest, equitable justice looks like in their city.
right, because we don't know what that is here. People don't know
We
what that
never had
is.
it.
And
We
I,
never had
I've
it.
been I've been listening to shows, podcasts from across the country about in Philadelphia and other progressive communities on how enlightening it has been for the citizens. And people want to give you the impression that it's going to be some all out free fall where criminals are going to be walking the street, and that is just the biggest malarkey you could imagine. It's just that we've gotten so much injustice. Yeah, we need to have some balancing of the scales here.
Thank
We
you for
need
saying
that.
that, Kim. Thank you for saying that. That is a really big point. A lot of people like to say that criminal justice reform gets in the way of public safety. They go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. And if you look at pre-Katrina, when we had over 8,000 people in our local pretrial jail, and now we have 800, it shows you what injustice looks, because most of those people were in jail because they were poor and they
That's
just couldn't
right.
afford
Yeah,
to get out.
yeah. That's why. And so we have a system here in New Orleans. We often talk about that here on Treeshakers, that our criminal justice system here in New Orleans is a system that uh, shows favor to the rich and treats the rich and guilty far better than they treat the poor and innocent. Because
Yes,
the
ma'am.
poor and innocent, even if they're innocent, it don't matter. They getting jailed. So we as a community have to. Now is the time for us to step up. Right now. Right now is the time for us to step up. Right now is the time for us to get a new district attorney to clean out the house over there. We need some new eyes on those files over there, on that paperwork over there.
That's right.
And hell yeah, your opponents are afraid. They're afraid of what you're talking about. But we, the people, we're the ones who have to elect you to office. We have to do that. We have to
Amen.
step up to do that. So thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to sit down and talk with us today, man. And we're going to air this show everywhere.
Sounds good. I can't wait to talk again.
All righty. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kim.
Bye
Keep
bye.
up the fight.
All right.